There are two reasons for that. One is, this is my neighborhood. And I had buried that year 12 young men, one a month, who had been gunned down in these drug wars that were going on at that time. And it's hard to minister to people who are burying their children, children who a day before were vibrant and now dead. And so I had a plan that I'd been thinking about as a result of my 20 years in the Banking, Finance, and Urban Affairs Committee, of putting a lot of people to work, redoing the infrastructure under this city. Under Washington, D.C., our plumbing is 100 years old. Some people have been hearing lately about lead in the water. No accident. Stuff that's that old, it's just not going to handle it. And I'd seen a whole generation of our people being able to make money and raise children and prepare them to go to college so the church doesn't have to send them. And so that was one reason. And I thought that as mayor, I could have more direct impact on home, since I've been so helpful. People all over the world, it's fine to be all over the world, but when you come home, charity begins at home. And the second reason, most important reason was that after 1986, when we got the King Holiday Bill and the Sanctions Bill, we also took the Senate from Reagan. And Newt Gingrich and his crowd didn't like it. And they went to work on a plan to redistrict in 90 and so forth. And again in 2000, to sort of break up the lines of power. And they did. But more important, they couldn't figure out why people kept writing them, from their districts. And they found out that the Frank was doing it. That Walter Fauntroy was taking his Frank and other members' Franks and writing people by the hundreds of thousands all over the country when issues of concern to the Congressional Black Caucus were being considered at subcommittee level, at full committee level. And when you get a plan to raise consciousness of the need to vote in 10 states where we could take enough seats from the Republicans, who were conservatives at that time, to enable Ted Kennedy to become chairman of the Judiciary Committee instead of Strom Thurmond. And Ted Kennedy hired a fellow by the name of Ron Brown to be a staff director. And all of the foundation's staffs that had been running the fiscal conservative program were fired. And all the Democrats came in with programs trying to spread things out. As a consequence, they came up in 1999 with what I call the Fauntroy Amendment. It said no member should write anybody in another member's district free. If you're going to write into another member's district, put a stamp on it. Well, now they give me a kind of allowance, but they could never give me an allowance to reach the kind of people that the movement had been reaching through our Franks. They took it. And quite frankly, please excuse the expression, but I was not going to be over there a eunuch at an orgy with no tools. In short, I realized I couldn't be effective as a non-voting delegate, without that kind of leveraging. And the urgency of the problems here in the neighborhood was such. Fortunately, a lot of that's gone now.